Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of The Movie Show, an original and irreverent look at the month's releases and the film industry as a whole. We'll be sharing historical anecdotes about the making of classic movies, insider gossip and exclusive interviews. So if you want phony reviews and studio back-scratching, jog on, buddy! But if you're longing for a comedy show that is passionate about cinema and the historical legacy of the old masters, but cynical about the dross that is so frequently excreted by the Hollywood mainstream, then you're in the right place. I embrace you to the teat of The Movie Show. On tonight's show, we bring you secretly filmed footage that has never been seen before of Orson Welles, an insider story of working with one of Hollywood's hottest stars, reviews of new releases In the Loop, State of Play and Wolverine. Also, a special report on this year's hottest independent film, Bad Day. Plus, we pay tribute to one of the greatest British films of all time, Biggles. Armando Iannucci has long been Britain's most prolific and consistent TV comedy producer. But here's the thing. In this green and pleasant land of ours, we have formed the cornerstones of what is dangerously looking like an inescapable habit, transferring our small screen product to the big screen. So what of In the Loop? Hit or miss? Well, the first thing that must be mentioned is that it is one of the finest, well-crafted scripts that has ever been shot. The dialogue is an absolute pleasure to listen to, and one particular key to this is that the filmmakers have taken a leaf from the Americans' book and used 4 writers compared to the usual tired British one. Few films have had such a rough journey to the big screen as State of Play. It was set to star Brad Pitt and Edward Norton as the jaded hack and philandering politician respectively. But when Brad Pitt unceremoniously pulled out a week before filming was due to commence, and Norton swiftly followed suit, it looked as if director Kevin MacDonald was going to have to demolish the vast set he'd built. So who the hell would have the calibre and clout to start filming almost immediately? Well, as it turned out, Russell Crowe. Newcomers will be treated to a skillfully executed political thriller that does in many ways improve on the BBC version. So, if you missed that, then you're in for a real treat here. But if you've already given 6 hours of your life to the show, there's little extra to warrant devoting a further 2. And now we come to Wolverine. In the words of the late great John Holmes, this is a hard one. The question is, can I watch Wolverine if I've not seen any of the other X-Men series? It would make a lot more sense if you have. And if you haven't seen them, then you'll be spending your time far more wisely watching them instead. The film clumsily tries to explain the origins of James Logan, aka Wolverine, which was, rather wisely, only ever briefly referred to in the original X-Men saga. And in doing so, creates a fairly bland, hole-ridden plot that reminded me somewhat of this cheese. Because it is what it is, mindless fun, not without any positives. Liev Schreiber puts in a commendable and enjoyable performance as Sabretooth, and Hugh Jackman is, well, typically Hugh Jackman. All I can say is that Wolverine will be out on the 29th of April, and me and the cheese agree that it is best in Australia. You've heard our verdicts on the mainstream output, now we bring you our independent film of the month. Bad Day is a British crime thriller that boasts strong performances and raw authenticity. A typically excellent Claire Goose and Donna Eyre are flawed yet relatable women, and the frequent bouts of girl-on-girl violence distinguish this from the misogynistic world of Guy Ritchie and his type. Brutal, gripping, sporadically amusing, this is one bad day you'll be keen to endure again and again. Remember these? That's right, it's a video. It's also the first video that I ever owned. Biggles, one of the greatest films of all time.
Get us out of here before they start realising you're not a god, you're just an American.
It is, in short, a masterpiece, and I implore you to hunt it down if you haven't done so already. I would not be sat here today talking to you about film were it not for this movie, Biggles. While researching The Movie Show, we've uncovered many treasures, but none quite so spectacular as a series of films that could be described as the greatest find in Hollywood history, unearthed in this very room. Next month, we'll have a Simon Pegg special to celebrate the release of Star Trek, which we'll be reviewing alongside Angels and Demons, Night at the Museum 2, and Away Days. There'll also be lots more exclusive footage and rare interviews. But until then, enjoy yourselves.